Hey guys, welcome to Jaxbeautifulyou. I am super excited about this video. I think I say that in every intro, but I'm extra excited about this video because I have some bangers to show you guys today. I have some absolute fantastic new perfumes I've added into my collection. So today's video is my August Perfume Haul. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jackie. Thank you so much for clicking on my thumbnail today. I really appreciate you being here. Okay, I'm excited. Let's just skip all that and let's just get into this video. Okay, I've been talking about this perfume a lot, so I just wanted to show you I got a full-size bottle. I did finish my KAYALI Yum Pistachio Gelato 33 travel spray, even though it was not on my tray for August. It was on my tray for August, you know what I mean? Because I was reaching for this one a ton. So I did finish that and I absolutely had to get a full-size bottle. This is a 50 ml. I didn't get the 100 ml just because, well, I might go through this. If I do, I'll get the 100 ml, but I usually try to work my way up. Anyway, you know what I mean. I have a lot of perfumes, but this is just something that I want to continuously have in my collection. I told you guys I was a little disappointed when it first came out. It wasn't what I expected, but then I ended up falling in love with it. It's a summertime kind of freshy gourmand, but the longer it sits, although this is a new bottle, but the longer that this travel size had sat in my collection, the more gourmand notes started to come through, the stronger the perfume got, and the more I ended up loving it. So I get this like bright citrusy bergamot opening. I do get kind of a fresh soapy floral from the Lily of the Valley, but then in the dry down I get more and more of the gourmand notes. Well, the last time I wore this, I actually started to pick up on the hazelnut, which was the first time I had smelled a nuttiness to this perfume. So this perfume is, it's a journey, and who knows what you're gonna pick up, you know? Everybody's picking up different stuff, but I love it. I think it's fantastic. So that is by KAYALI Yum Pistachio Gelato 33. I told you guys in a video before where I was testing fragrances that I was absolutely going to get this fragrance, and I told you guys I was gonna wait until fall, but I didn't. I had to get it now because I'm obsessed with this fragrance. This is by Kerosene and this is Unknown Pleasures. This has to be one of my favorite gourmands already in my collection. I tried this first, like I said, and I was just in love. This is the lemon gourmand perfume of my dreams. This is what I was looking for. Every other lemony kind of gourmand perfume that I was trying, it didn't, I don't know, it wasn't strong enough, you know, it didn't seem to last. It didn't seem to be exactly what I wanted it to be. This one is exactly what I wanted. This has Earl Grey tea in it though as well. I was afraid of the tea note because I don't always get along with tea, but I'm really glad that it's in here because it's the thing that kind of tones it down. This is very, very sweet, very lemon forward, and a very strong fragrance. It's not one that I can really wear right now because it's still pretty hot, but when fall hits, I cannot wait to wear this. So there's lemon, there's caramel, there's honey, there's tonka bean, I believe, but then there's that Earl Grey tea in here that kind of offsets the sweetness and helps to ground it just a little bit. But it is still a very gourmand fragrance, and if you're a gourmand lover and you love lemon, you need to get your nose on this. So this is by Kerosene, Unknown Pleasures. The next three fragrances I have to talk to you about are by a house that I had heard a couple of people talking about, but I haven't heard a ton of people talking about them. This is the house Benigna, I believe is how you say it. Benigna, yes. Benigna Parfums. The bottles are just absolutely amazing. Just the most exquisite bottles I've ever seen. So the brand actually reached out to me and asked if I was interested in trying some of their fragrances, and I said yes, absolutely. The way PR works on this channel is that anytime a brand reaches out to me and asks if I'm interested in trying their fragrances, I say yes, of course. This is a perfume channel. I want to try new fragrances. That's what I'm doing here. However, I never ever agree to do anything until I have actually tested the fragrances. I have had plenty of fragrances sent to me by houses that I've never told you guys about because unfortunately I had to let those houses know, thank you very much for sending me your fragrances, but they didn't work out for me. And if they don't work out for me and I don't feel like I would purchase them with my own money, I'm certainly not going to recommend them to you guys. So anytime a brand offers to send me anything, I always am very clear that I'm happy to test them, but there is no guarantee that I'm going to talk about them on my channel. Of course, this house was super understanding, no pressure. They were really chill, really laid back, and they ended up sending me 3 fragrances. And I did choose these 3 fragrances from the website, but one of them was a mistake. One of them I had thought was a different perfume. Anyway, I will get into that. All right, so the first one I want to talk about is Royal Bouquet. This one I was pretty sure I was going to absolutely love. And can we just take a moment to look at this bottle? Look at this bottle. Have you ever seen a bottle that was more luxurious looking? Look at the top of this. Seriously, I don't think I have another bottle that competes with this in my collection. I mean, this is absolutely gorgeous. This top is supposed to be like the British crown, inspired by the British crown, and it also is 24 karat gold on the neck, and there's real emeralds and rubies in here, and there's also handcrafted crystals. I mean, it's just a luxury experience for sure. That's what you're paying for. Everything, not just the juice, but you're paying for the presentation, the packaging, and the presentation is pretty impressive as well. So this is what it comes in. And then when you open this up, look at this. You guys, this has hinges. Do you see that? I mean, it's actually like, it has hinges. It's so luxurious, and this is absolutely gorgeous, this packaging. It's in this fluffy bed. It's just so luxurious for sure. So if you're into that, you know, if you're into luxurious, if you want a full-on luxury experience with your fragrances, you're definitely going to get it with this. So packaging and the bottle and all of that, that's all good. You know, I like all that stuff, but what I really care about is the juice inside. Is the juice inside equal to the packaging? And I can tell you right off the bat, I could smell the quality in this fragrance as soon as I smelled it, and so could my husband. My husband and I, we were opening up the packages when we got them, and I was spraying them, and even my husband, who's not really into fragrances, said he could tell that this was quality ingredients. When I first started on YouTube, when I was watching other people, I would hear people say things like, oh, this smells expensive, this smells like money. And I remember thinking, what exactly does that smell like? You know, what does money smell like? But I get it. The more I get into fragrances, the more I understand where people are coming from. You can definitely tell a difference in the quality of juices, the quality of ingredients that are used. And this is a prime example. I mean, this is like the fine dining of perfumes. This isn't you going out on Tuesday night with your family to Steak and Shake, okay? This is you going out celebrating on your anniversary, going to a 5-star fine dining restaurant. That's what this is. This is just, it's top shelf. It really is. It's definitely worth getting your nose on. But Royal Bouquet is a floral fragrance. It's developed around orange flower. There are a lot of florals in here. It smells like the most luxurious and opulent floral fragrance you've ever smelled. There's a hint of a sweet fruitiness in here, which I'm not sure where that's coming from. I know there's osmanthus in here, so I know sometimes osmanthus can come across as kind of fruity sometimes. It is so, so good, you guys. It is so good. I absolutely love this one. I knew I was going to love this one. Now, this is marketed towards both men and women, but I would say this is definitely feminine. This is a sweet, fruity, floral kind of fragrance, but it's not your typical mass appealing fruity floral at all. This is a step above. It is definitely 100% elevated. There's also vanilla and musk in the base of this fragrance, and I have to say the vanilla really smells quite, I keep saying opulent, but that's the only thing I can think of to really truly explain this fragrance. The vanilla in here, it's beautiful. The vanilla and the musk, it gives it this like creamy base that I really, really enjoy. So this one is a full-on love for me. I absolutely love it, and this is actually my second favorite. There's one that I like even more than this one from the 3, and that's the one that was the mistake, but I'll get to that in a minute. But this one is Royal Bouquet, and it smells absolutely amazing. Definitely worth getting your nose on for sure. Also, if you don't want to buy a full-size bottle of this, if you're interested in the house, they do have smaller travel minis, I guess you could say, and the cool thing about those is that it still looks like this. The little minis still comes with the jewels and the 24 karat top and all of that. You know what I mean? It's just a miniature version of this bottle. I think that's pretty cool. So that's available as well. But yes, this is absolutely beautiful. Royal Bouquet, get your nose on it. Okay, up next we have Greatness. Now this one is my least favorite from the 3 that they sent me, and I actually thought I was going to love this one the most. This is definitely the same situation. You can smell the quality. The ingredients are just absolutely top shelf. The bottle's absolutely stunning. I mean, everything about it is definitely worth getting your nose on if you like these notes. But the opening has Szechuan pepper and it has some tuberose in here, and that's why I thought I was gonna love it, because I love pink pepper and black pepper in my fragrances, and I love tuberose, but I'm starting to discover that Szechuan pepper is not exactly my cup of tea. The tuberose that's in here is more of like a green tuberose, and I personally prefer more of a sweeter bubblegummy tuberose. So the opening of this perfume is not my favorite. I'm going to be very honest with you about that. However, my husband loved this one. This was my husband's favorite. He was like, what are you talking about? That smells amazing. And I know I've heard Chris from the Perfume Nest talk about this one too. She absolutely loves this one. And I'm pretty sure Greta loves this one too. If I'm not mistaken, I think this was Greta's favorite as well. But anyway, this one, I really, really like it. It's a like, but it's not a love, just because the opening is a bit challenging for me. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of Szechuan pepper, and the tuberose in here is a little bit too green for me. That only lasts a couple of minutes, but then as this perfume dries down, I am blown away by the dry down of this fragrance, because the dry down has this sandalwood that is just absolutely top notch. It's so rich and so opulent that it almost kind of smells like it's been caramelized. I've never really smelled a sandalwood like it, almost like caramelized sandalwood, like an ambery, caramelized, rich, creamy sandalwood dry down in this fragrance that I absolutely loved. So I can't say that this is a love, just because truly for me, a love perfume has to be amazing to me. From the very second I spray it all the way into the dry down. I do struggle with the opening of this fragrance, but the dry down is something to experience, that is for sure. Like I said, this is my husband's favorite. This is my 3rd favorite, but it's still worth getting your nose on for sure. So that is Greatness by Benigna. Okay guys, this next one is one that I asked for, but I confused this perfume with another one. I thought I was getting something else, and when I saw the notes of this perfume and realized my mistake, it was too late. They had already sent me the package, and I was like, oh no. I am not going to like that perfume, because it is an oud fragrance. And I don't really care for oud, generally speaking, okay? I have been experiencing oud lately in perfumes that I have liked. And one of the perfumes that shocked me was by Nishane Nefs. I tried that fragrance, and I told you guys I was getting a full-size bottle of it when fall and winter hit, because I was shocked at how much I loved Nefs. And that kind of showed me that not all oud is created equal. And this, do you guys see the dent in here? This is absolutely beautiful, and I am blown away and shocked. I am shocked by this fragrance, because if you look on Fragrantica, the #1 accord that it says is oud. And when I saw that, I was like, oh man, I made a mistake. But the oud in here is not like the oud that I don't like. So a lot of oud smells to me like rubbing alcohol. It's very skanky smelling, and I really do not like that. But then I've started to discover some fragrances that have oud, but it smells smooth, and that skankiness is not there. And that's what's in here. To me, I don't get a skanky oud. I get a smooth, opulent, again, that's all I can think of to describe these fragrances. Elevated, expensive smelling oud. I absolutely love this fragrance, and I'm not saying that this perfume smells like Nefs, because they don't. They're different. But this gives me the same vibe as Nefs, and now that I have this perfume, I don't think I'm gonna get Nefs, because this is doing for me what, I mean, this makes my eyes roll in the back of my head like Nefs did, but I prefer this one, because in the opening, this one has cinnamon, and it also has pimento leaves, so there's this sweet, delicious cinnamon, and I am a huge fan of cinnamon. There's some rose in here, but this is not your typical rose oud. I know there's a ton of rose and oud perfumes out there, but The rose is here for sure, but it's not your typical rose oud scent. It smells royal. It smells like royalty. My husband and I were talking about this because I was kind of shocked and saying, you know, how can oud smell so different across the board? And my husband said, well, it's kind of like scotch. You know, if you've ever had regular scotch, I can't stand it. I can't drink it. Just, you know, your typical everyday scotch that you can just buy at the store. Or if you've ever had the top shelf scotch, you know, the aged scotch, the super expensive scotch that's been, you know, sitting around for ages. And I don't really know that much about scotch, but my husband said he's tried that scotch before, like that uber expensive scotch, and he said it's like night and day. It's like you're not even drinking the same thing. That's kind of what I picture in here. The oud in here is on another level, at least to me. This is the type of oud I like. So I'm going to stop saying I don't like oud, because I do, apparently. It just has to be done a certain kind of way, and this is absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous, expensive, luxurious. Oh my God, I'm in love with this. So if you like Nefs, get your nose on this. Again, they're not the same. They don't smell the same, but this gives me the same vibe. So if you're in love with Nefs, you really got to get your nose on this fragrance. It is quite exquisite, and I am in love. So shocker, I'm so glad that I made this mistake, because I'm super happy to have this in my collection. So this is Worthiness. I will leave Benigna's information in the description box. They were kind enough to give me a discount code. It's Jax10. You can use that to save 10%, or don't use it, whatever. No pressure whatsoever, but it is there if you are interested. I'll leave it in the description box. Also, they did message me and tell me that from, I believe, August 15th to September 15th, any purchases made on their website, they are giving 30% of their proceeds to the Maui Hawaii Relief Fund, which I think is super awesome. That really makes me want to work with this brand even more. I love brands that give back and care about the community. I just think that's pretty classy. So definitely check them out. All their information will be listed below. All right, let's talk about the new Burberry Goddess. I did get a travel size of this. I was not gonna pay $168 for this fragrance, because that's how much it costs for a full-size bottle. $168, and I was like, why are you so expensive? That's niche prices up there, you know what I mean? Like, if you go on discount websites, you can get a niche fragrance for about that amount of money. I have Simone Andreoli fragrances in my collection that are right around that price, maybe like 100. I think they're like $185. And I'm not saying that niche is always better. If this perfume was worth $168, whether it's niche, designer, celebrity, whatever the case may be, I'd be happy to pay for it. But I had my doubts that it would be worth that price. So I just got the travel spray, and I have to say, I really, really like it. I think it is very beautiful. There is no denying that this fragrance smells good. It does. It is lavender in the opening, although I will say the lavender in here is not super aromatic. The lavender doesn't stand out to me. It's there, but it's more in the background. There's also cacao. There's ginger in here, which I really like that. And then there's 3 different types of vanilla. So it is very beautiful, and I really like it. I still don't think it's worth $168 though. This isn't blowing my mind. I'm gonna keep the travel spray, and this is definitely a perfume I would wear. I think it smells really good. It's not your typical cupcakey vanilla type of fragrance. This is a very, kind of more of like a grown-up, formal smelling vanilla. I feel like with that lavender, it's definitely not like a foodie gourmand vanilla. And I really like that about the fragrance. Not that I don't like foodie gourmand vanillas, because I sure do, but you know, I kind of like that this has a little bit of a grown-up, sophisticated feel to it. Yeah, this smells really nice, and the performance is pretty decent. I've worn this a couple of times, and I really didn't have any complaints about the performance. It's not like a beast or anything, but it's moderate performance all around, and I think it's nice. But I do not want to spend $168 on this fragrance. So maybe later on in the future, if the price comes down a little bit, if I can find it at a good deal, I might pick it up. I'm not bashing this perfume. I can see why somebody would like this. Absolutely. I can see why somebody would buy this and love it. But for me, with the collection I have, I just don't think this one stands out to where I'm going to pay that money. So I'm happy to have the travel size, but I don't need a full bottle. All right, up next, I have a fragrance that I absolutely love. I heard about this from Chris from the Perfume Nest. This is by a house called Snif, and this is Crumb Couture. This fragrance smells like a literal buttery blueberry croissant, right down to the flaky crust. I will say, if you are not into literal foodie gourmands, if you do not want to smell like food, you need to just just skip past this part. Just skip this part of the video because this is not for you. I love this. This is not too sweet either because it has that croissant feel to it as well. It is so freaking delicious, and I love to pair it with Bath & Body Works Blueberry Sugar Pancakes Lotion. These two together, ooh, you are gonna smell like a blueberry pastry. You are gonna smell absolutely edible and delicious, and I freaking love this combination. But I will say the performance of this fragrance isn't the absolute best. It's okay. It's not horrible, but I wish it did last a little bit longer. I'd say I only probably get about 4, maybe 5 hours. If I pair it with the lotion, it's a little bit longer, but I do wish this lasted a little bit longer, but I don't even care because I freaking love this. It's delicious. So if you want to smell like a buttery blueberry croissant, you need to check out Crumb Couture by Snif. I also told you guys I was going to be getting Delina La Rosée, and I did finally. I actually tested this one out in a boutique in Charleston, and I was really hesitant about this one. I was not interested in this for the longest time because in my mind I thought this was just going to be a watered down Delina, like another Delina, you know? And it is a watered down Delina, but in the best possible way. The aquatic feel of this fragrance is so freaking refreshing, but it still has that Delina vibe without that tartness that's in the OG. I really love Delina Exclusive. That's my fall and winter Delina, and this is going to be my spring and summer Delina, and I don't need the OG. I prefer this one over the OG. This is so feminine, and the performance is amazing. It never got to be too cloying. I can wear this in the heat, and it's such an amazing performing fragrance. It will last you all day, but it never feels heavy or thick. It feels very aquatic. There's a freshness to it. I wore this the other day and I was feeling it. And it lasted all day long with the most gorgeous scent trail. I know now why all the girls were saying in their summer videos that this was like a must-have for summer. I kept seeing it in everybody's videos and I was like, what am I missing? Apparently this is what I was missing because I absolutely love this. So this is by Parfums de Marly, Delina La Rosée. All right, up next we have by the House of Oud. This is Ruby Red. I'm super happy to have this in my collection. I tested this one out first and I was very hesitant to get it because I absolutely love the way my sample smelled, but so many people said that it has bad performance. And I was like, no, why? So I actually went on this hunt for like the best ginger fragrance I could find. I tried so many ginger fragrances and I liked a lot of them, but honestly, none of them held a candle to the way that this one smells. There are 3 types of ginger in here. There's like ginger flower, ginger in the opening, and then in the base there's candied ginger, and oh my gosh, I absolutely love that. It is this sweet candied ginger. And the performance, I don't feel comfortable telling you guys about the performance yet, to be honest, because I've only worn this twice since I've gotten it, and it was just around the house. I haven't actually worn it out to really truly test the performance of this fragrance. So far, it feels like it's okay, but just take that with a grain of salt. I have to give this more wears. I really have to test this out. So I do plan on putting this one on my September tray so I can really get to know it and figure out if I think the performance is good or not. But I will say, I know I'm in love with the bottle. I don't think the camera does this justice. I mean, oh my gosh, look at this bottle, you guys. It is gorgeous. I am in love. This ruby red, oh yeah, the camera, it doesn't do it justice. In person, it is just exquisite, but I'm super happy to have this in my collection. That is Ruby Red by the House of Oud. And of course, I got Bonbon Pop from the House of Oud. I tested this one first, knew I loved it, and I think this is just absolutely gorgeous. I will say though that you need to test this one because I think a lot of people were expecting a full-on gourmand fragrance. It is very gourmand. It has gourmand notes and it has peach, it has coconut, and I've been struggling with peach lately, but the peach in here, it doesn't smell like a synthetic or candied really uber sweet peach. It smells like a natural peach to me, and I love the peach and coconut combo in this fragrance. It's absolutely beautiful. There's brown sugar in here. I definitely get that. It definitely is a sweet, delicious, yummy gourmand, but it's a semi-gourmand because there are other notes in here that are not gourmand that you can definitely make out. There's woody notes in here. I definitely make those out. And there's patchouli in here, and I 100% pick up the patchouli. So if you don't like patchouli, you gotta test this out, you know? Now I will say the patchouli is not super strong. It's not overpowering. It's not dirty or earthy to me. It's a very clean and smooth and warm smelling patchouli. It's the kind of patchouli I like. And it's not the star of the show either. So even if you don't love patchouli, you might still wanna get your nose on this one, but just keep in mind that it is 100% there. So I don't think that this is gonna be for everyone, to be honest. But for me, I absolutely love it. I've worn it twice now. And oh, that's another thing. I get compliments on this. I got 2 compliments from 2 men, strangers, not my husband, 2 complete strangers, and they were both male, told me I smelled amazing when I was wearing this. And I was like, yeah, I know, right? So anyway, I love this one, but definitely try it first. It's not safe. So this is by the House of Oud Bonbon Pop. And that's it for today's video. Those are the new fragrances I've added into my collection. I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also, please put your comments in the comment section. I love to hear from you guys. I want to know, have you tried any of these and what is your experience with these fragrances? Do you love them? Do you hate them? Are you interested in trying them? Let me know all your thoughts and opinions. I hope everybody is having an amazing day. If you are not subscribed to my channel, I hope you will consider subscribing, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye.